yo, it's Cooler Times 2000. Gang gang to my cats, sup to all my ducks. It's your boy, the American Sniper, aka the Bradley Cooper of NFTs. And I'm with my man, Evan Tan, one of the best tastemakers on Twitter, an absolute must follow for anyone in the NFT space. Evan, what are we looking at today, man? What are we getting into? We talking uninterested unicorns? We're talking Superlative Society. What else are we looking at today, man?
Hey, we're going to be looking at a lot of different projects. I'm so excited. I've been in this space for like less than a year now, but I'm excited about almost every project that's going to be out there. So, dude, what an intro, man. That was amazing.
Of course, you're here with the Sniper Gang, so we had to do it right. The two projects I just mentioned at the top, though, I got to ask you about. The first being Uninterested Unicorns. You're an advisor to the project. But it's something that I've had my eye on for a while, is potentially having some subduct comparisons, but also just being amazing in its own right. What can you kind of tell us about Uninterested Unicorns?
Dude, I'm so excited about that project. I think on the art basis alone, you can see that it's really, really well done. It's created by Rinja, and the founder is actually Terrence. He's from Singapore. I've never met him in real life, but we've gotten so close through the NFT space that we've become such great friends in this space. And I think just looking from the art alone, he first showed me kind of like the drafts and how it's going to look like. I was instantly in love. Not to mention all the utilities that come along with it, from staking and the uni candies that you can earn from questing the unicorns. And future voxel and metaverse stuff, and even the games they're gonna develop in the future. I'm really excited for what's to come for that project, for reals.
Guys, we just heard the two of my favorite buzz phrases, voxel and staking. So that makes me instantly bullish on Uninterested Unicorns. Another one I brought up was Superlative Society. Great artwork. I've seen you kind of aping a bit on Twitter. What can you say about that project other than like the magnificent artwork?
I think the first thing that brought me to that project is the fact that the artist is Indonesian. I am Indonesian myself. So I'm really, really proud to see all these different artists just popping out of the different cities and different towns in Indonesia. So the artist behind Superlatives Secret Society is called Arif Wicaksana. And I've only recently discovered him. So I think the project was already there long before I discovered it. So as soon as they approached me on Twitter and said, "Hey, dude, look at the art that I have made so far, and the project that we're gonna launch, which is the new one, which is SSS." Yeah. I checked out his previous works as well, and basically aped into all that as well. So the art looks really, really good. It's something that you would print and put in a gallery, basically. And that's exactly what they're going to do. They're going to have a gallery in Bali. And I believe they're also allowing the token holders to have a trip to Bali as well, to visit the gallery in person, when this whole pandemic thing is over, of course. But that's one utility you get out of being in the project. But other than that, it's just an amazing and spectacular looking generative art, because most generative art is just cartoons. So this is kind of like a different stab of the same idea, of like how do we make a generative art that's sort of like got an art blocks vibe, where it's like high art and fine art, but at the same time it looks really, really fun, and something that people would put in a banner or a profile picture, or even print it to kind of just hang at home, you know?
Yeah, it's something I definitely hang in my home. Also, I just love like the entry point right now for people who are still getting into NFTs. I think like the floor price right now is super accessible, like 0.3. So it's definitely something that a lot of people can get into right now before it goes away forever and becomes a blue chip, something like that. But I kind of want to backpedal a bit, because you're such an accomplished collector. I just want to kind of hear your story, how you got involved in NFTs, and like some of your first pickups you got.
I first got into NFTs, I think last August, if I'm not mistaken. I got really deep into DeFi summer last year, and met a bunch of friends there, and they told me about Sushi Swap and Uniswap. I was in the whole sushi swap fiasco as well. That whole drama that um, the chef ran away with the money, and then SBF came and rescued Sushi Swap. I was in that whole drama last summer, but that's when I met a lot of different new friends in the space, and they were the ones that told me about the NFT space. And the first few NFTs that I got was actually Axie Infinity and CryptoKitties. I was only dabbling in them and just having fun. They first told me like, hey, there's a game that you can play, and you can earn real money or crypto out of it by winning the matches. So I was interested. And back then, ETH was so cheap, and these Axies were also very, very cheap. So I just got into it to just try it out. That's when I first dabbled into NFTs, but I didn't really get into too much of it. But then I just got bored for a few months. I think that was in September. So after being in NFTs for like a month, I got bored and like basically quit. Yeah. And then I came back in late January because of NBA Top Shot. When I heard that you could actually collect NBA highlights, they call moments now, I was instantly in love with that. Because growing up in Indonesia, you can't really access those physical cards. You know, we don't have Walmarts here or Targets here. You can just go and buy these different collectibles, and paraphernalias are basically out of reach for the most part. You can't attend games, so you don't get like signed stuff either. So having such a collectible that is very global in nature, that allows everybody in the globe to just enjoy the NBA and be part of it and collect some of the things you love, I loved it right away. So I just aped into that as well. Before the boom too. So I got lucky with that. And that's when I met even more friends from the NFT space. And they were the ones that told me about the CryptoPunks. And that became the first big purchase that I made in terms of NFTs. That was back in February. I bought my first punk. And then from there, the rest is history.
Yeah. I mean, getting into a punk in February, great timing. Also a Top Shot in January. You seem to be early with these things. What are some of the other projects you've followed since January, February that you still hold now and are bullish on long term, and you just love the community? What other ones can we talk about?
It's one that everyone loves, right? The Bored Ape Yacht Club, and it's definitely one of the biggest and the most well known and the best community there is. I mean, if you look on Twitter, ape follow ape is no joke. You know, as long as you have a profile picture that's an ape, you'll instantly have like 500 to 1,000 followers just in a couple of days. You know, people will love you and follow you and really want to know your thoughts if you're part of the ape community. That I've been holding for a while now. I mean, I minted early on too. I was fortunate enough that the Bored Ape Yacht Club founders actually approached me and gifted me an honorary ape early on. Mine's honorary ape number 13. It's based off the legendary Monkey King, the Sun Wukong. So I've been really, really happy to have that. And yeah, I'm gonna basically hold that for a very, very long time.
Yeah, that might be the biggest digital flex right now, is having an honorary Bored Ape. That is so cool to have number 13. So is that like it's serial number 13? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh my!
I think there are only 35 of them total. So
yeah. And obviously you can kind of see maybe on the YouTube video you are flexing a Bored Ape shirt. So it does.
Yeah, here, let me show you.
It does run deep, guys. Talking about the Top Shot, the CryptoPunks, you even said, you know, you were really early on Bored Ape Yacht Club. How did you develop this pulse for which projects are going to succeed, and what are the characteristics of projects that you typically invest into and think are good buys?
In terms of evaluating a project before launch, it's always going to be a shot in the dark. It's not going to be There's not going to be an expert out there that says for sure before launch that this is the project that's going to succeed 100%. If there's a person that says that, he'd probably be lying. But in terms of reducing the amount of risk when you're entering into a project, I think you can reduce risk by researching on the team behind the project, whether they have history in the space and whether they're reliable, whether they have the expertise to execute the roadmap that they have, the quality of the art and the quality of the roadmap, and what they promise, and whether you think they're, as a team, they're capable enough to deliver what they promise. So those are kind of like the things that I look at before a project launches to kind of like minimize risk as much as possible. Of course, even if a project checks all the boxes, they might still fail.
Yeah.
Because in the end, it's really up to the community. And if there is a community that would revolve around it and really rally around a project, that's basically the only reason why any project would succeed. But you can't really fake community. You kind of have to let that grow organically. And the best you can do before a project launches is just surrounding yourself with a good team and a good deliverable in the roadmap. So I think with those two things, that could kind of like rally a community together. But whether or not a community rallies around your project, that's kind of up to chance. You never really know until it happens.
Yeah. Just a reminder, guys, I'm here with Evan Tan. Find him on Twitter. It's going to be one of the best follows you do. But I wanted to call you out on something, man. Just a couple minutes ago, you said, all the Bored Ape follow Ape profile pictures, and yet you have a meta hero profile picture right now. Just want to talk to you real quick about, obviously there's a profile picture snapshot going on here. But why are you so bullish on Pixel Vault? I've seen some tweets about you talking about that whole group in their umbrella of projects. What makes you so bullish on Pixel Vault?
Yeah. I think also if you look closely to my profile picture, it's actually a meta hero that has been edited into an ape. So the blue beam is actually edited in, and if you look closely to the face, it's actually an ape mouth on the meta hero. So
wow, you just called me back out.
So I still have some resemblance of the ape in the meta hero. Nice. But yeah, I changed it because Beanie said he's going to do a snapshot of all the Twitter profile pictures with the meta hero on, and he's going to airdrop something. So I changed it. I'm really, really bullish on the project simply because they have, again, like I said, a very strong team. You have Beanie and G-Funk and Trapo. Basically, these people are high caliber people in the space that you trust would deliver. They've shown again and again they have delivered. Yeah. And even the art too. Chris Wall is amazing. I mean, if you look at the art from the Meta Hero, it's definitely unlike a lot of the others. I think he has a background in the Marvel comics as well. And you can sort of see the resemblance of like, okay, I can see how this guy was influenced by Marvel and how all these other meta heroes are sort of based off of a Marvel-ish vibe characters. And yeah, it's mostly the team, to be honest with you. It's the team and the art that makes me really, really bullish. And Beanie has always kind of been like an advocate of the space for the longest time, back even before he was this popular, back when he was just talking trash in the punks Discord, and he wasn't that popular yet. He was already advocating for the space. So for him to execute something of this magnitude, I think everyone will eventually realize that. Right now, it might not be there yet, but it has gotten really good traction so far, and I'm really, really bullish on how it's going to go long term.
Yeah, speaking to Meta Hero, I think they've done some really cool things. One of them being the traits are put together at mint. The phrase has been provably fair, and so I think that Also just the burning of the comics, the different things they've been doing have pushed the boundaries and set the ground, trailblazed for other projects and what they want to do with their roadmaps. So definitely salute to Pixel Vault and Beanie, and love that group. Before we head out here, just wanted to see if there's any other projects you want to plug. I mean, I'd be remiss if I don't just plug Sup Ducks right now. I love Sup Ducks, and King Frogs are coming and all that great stuff. But what's another project that people should maybe keep an eye out for that you really love the community?
One that really stood out to me, especially just this past like week or so, is the Cryptodes.
Oh,
Cryptodes by Gremlin. It might seem like a very, very simple project, but man, the community around it is amazing. And like I said before, with every project, what really builds, whether it's successful or not, is the community. And I think just judging based off of the community alone, this will be a project that will last a long time. So I'm really bullish on that.
I think people get caught up a lot of times in extravagant, articulate roadmaps, but sometimes it's all about the memeability of a project. And the Cryptodes are just, they look sexy on a Twitter timeline. I mean, people see that and they smile, they laugh. I mean, you have like a response to it. So I'm definitely in on that. One other thing I wanted to ask you about before we go, I forgot about it, was XCopy. I know that you have some XCopies, and some of his work is blowing up right now. How did you get involved in XCopy? What did you see in those things early on?
I mean, being honest with you, the first time I got an XCopy was because Beanie told us to. He tweeted about XCopy at first, and I looked at the art, and man, dude, this art is meant to be on the blockchain. It's like digital art that's meant to be here. It's like you don't see. It's not like a traditional art that has transitioned itself into the blockchain space, but from at first glance, it looks like blockchain native art. And he's been an OG in the space too, so people are really, really excited about his works. And so when I saw that, his gifts are just amazing. So I just wanted a part of that. I mean, I only own a single one, the one that I just tweeted recently. That's probably one of his like cheapest works back then, and that was all I could afford. I think all the expensive one of ones are just way out of reach. So, but I knew I wanted a part of that, so I just decided to just get one of the cheaper ones, and it's grown so much since then.
Speaking of getting alpha from Twitter, guys, again, follow my guy Evan Tan. I'm telling you right now, even if you just want to go and look at his Twitter banner, he's got a great, beautiful collection on his banner. He's got the Oni Force. I think, is there even a Bulls on the Block somewhere hidden in there?
Yeah.
It's really cool. Guys, go check out the Twitter. Like I said, great tastemaker, always involved in great projects. So thank you so much for hopping on with me today and just talking about the space we love.
Dude, my pleasure, man. Glad to be here.
Yeah, let's do it again. And guys, I'll just shill my own bags for a second. Like, subscribe, do all that so we can have more talks like this. Evan, thanks again. Gang, gang.
Gang, gang, brother.